Hello everyone, welcome back to the dragonthornart channel. I am Phoebe, and today we're going to be touring Sketchbook to number 2 from the 6th of March 2020 to the 26th of July 2020. So I filled this a lot quicker than my first one, and as you can see, there's a lot more pages in this one. I managed to resist the urge to tear most of it out. As you can see, there's some pages that I won't be showing as they are personal pieces. I do this in my normal sketchbook tours. My October ones are less personal since I'm following prompt lists, but with my private sketchbooks I sometimes put stuff in there that I don't want anybody else to see. So let's get started. So this was, I believe, for a drawing challenge that was related to Harry Potter at the time. So I got into Harry Potter in 2018. Just as it turned out that J.K. Rowling was transphobic and etc. So, yeah, I was mightily annoyed at that, but we persist, and I'd like to say I distance myself from the series nowadays, but occasionally it's like, it's one of those things that's ingrained into everybody's sort of psyche, and I tried to sort of put my own twist on things instead, and take inspiration from other things instead, but Harry Potter sometimes is the perfect fit for something. I just try to separate it from the actions of the author that created the universe. Anyway, this is Ron, with his broomstick. I think the prompt was Ron Weasley for that one. It was like a Weasley's wizard thing, challengey thing. I can't remember the exact words, but it was a 4-week challenge. Now, this was a theme in my last sketchbook, and here we have 2 consecutive drawings of Shoto Todoroki. I believe this was from the makeup camp after the provisional license exam. So Shoto and 3 others, including Bakugo, attend sort of these sessions to earn their provisional license because they missed out on their original. They messed up on the original test. So this was a scene where he smiles, and this was where I sort of, in this sketchbook there's a lot of fandom stuff, but I have also done a lot of experimentation, and you can see some sort of stylistic changes. Like this one especially, like you can see the difference between this and that one. This one was sort of directly copied, whereas this one has some more stylistic changes to it, which is interesting to see. This one was the Harry Potter challenge again, so I think it could be like Quidditch or something, with the bludger, the quaffle, and the snitch, and the hoops. Some ones to skip. This is my Harry Potter self-insert character. They are called Thorn. And this is what I imagine their wand would look like. So there's runes on it, but it's like the handle is made of crushed black dragon scales, and there's some intricate carvings on the actual sort of tip of the wand itself. And I did something similar to this for one of my Inktober's. Might even have been the 2020 one for Enchanted. And I can't remember whether I did a similar one, but I love this design. I really want to design some more wands. Maybe even make them physically, because I have made ones in the past. Less like this type, and more the type that's got a crystal on the end for like modern witchcraft and that kind of thing. But yeah, it could be a really interesting experiment, that. This would have been would it be the first? No, it would be the anniversary of Chester's birthday. So this is, for those who don't know, this is supposed to be a drawing of Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. This is the better version I did. So this is a copy of a scene from the music video for Castle of Glass, where he holds up a glass shard, and as he's singing, because I'm only a crack in this Castle of Glass. Yeah, I was distraught when I found out that Chester had passed away, and it meant a lot to me. Their music. I won't go into it too much, but I wanted to try and depict it. It ended up looking a bit more like Obama than I wanted it to, but maybe that's this is something else that I'll revisit at some point. But I wanted to mark his birthday, which is the 20th of March, with a little something. So I like that I'd sort of tried to pick up on the whole lighting thing and the way that the light reflected off the skin and stuff, but I think I'd been too heavy on the pencil shading and stuff, but it's still pretty good considering what my skills were at the time. And yeah. So these are some dragon sketches of... so this will probably be based on like Night Lights and the Light Fury. From How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. So that's definitely very Light Fury. These two are probably more toothless. That looks like it could have been a sketch of a Nightlight. And obviously some trying to work out proportions and stuff there. Just some quick sketches. You'll find this a lot in my sketchbooks. I like to just do some simple sketches and leave the page like that. Because sometimes you get that feel. I don't know whether other artists agree, but sometimes you get that feeling where this page is done, I need to move on to another. And at the time, I didn't draw on this side of the page. Nowadays, aside from for my Inktober sketchbooks, I draw on both sides of the page if I can, or I'll stick something in on that side. So this was for the 10th anniversary of How to Train Your Dragon, and I drew toothless. At this time, I was doing this style of dragon where I did sort of little squiggles in very fine. I don't know whether you can see this, but very fine liner. I was doing all these tiny little scales, and it took a long time to do, but I think I love the effect. This was supposed to be like a cake, and Toothless's Plasma Blast was supposed to be lighting it, and it could have turned out better, but I like this. This was probably for the Harry Potter challenge again, probably for Marauders or something along them lines, yeah, it could be. It's one of those. It exists. It's not the best, not the worst, but could have done a lot better. Okay, this was, I think it was Weasley's Wizard Wheezers, and I decided I'd do the firework dragon that they set off, that Fred and George set off at Umbridge, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Yeah, it's very, you can't see what it is, but by not being able to see what it is, you can see what it is, and obviously I did their shop logo there as well. But I love how the dragon turned out, and I tried to do sort of like the arches of the actual hall in the background and stuff. This, I believe, is supposed to be a drawing of Harry Potter, which, yeah, I can sort of see it. Like I say, I was deep in my Harry Potter obsession at this stage, and trying to, come to terms with the fact that J.K. Rowling was as she is. This was another sketch attempt at Harry Potter with Hedwig there as well and a snitch. Again, I obviously was determined to try and do this, but I wasn't very good at hands or mouths or noses very much. And his head's a bit bigger than the rest of his body, but yeah. Ah, yes. This is Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Eeyore was always my favourite. I mean, I loved horses and donkeys when I was little anyway, and Eeyore was just... It was highly relatable. I mean, I loved the others as well, but Eeyore was like the one that I felt most connected to. Which I experienced depression in my adult life, and yeah, I get you, buddy. Another Disney one. So this is Marie from the Aristocats. This is when she goes, "Ladies do not start fights, but they can finish them." And yeah, I like how it turned out. I think I got a pretty spot on. Ah, yes. So, I was trying to draw a panda here. Looks a bit more like a spectacled bear to the left, maybe. And let's try it again. Again, looks a bit malformed. And in the end, for whatever I was using it for, I went for a more cartoonistic version of it. Which, yeah, it looks okay. It registers as a panda. That's what I can say. Yeah, here I was just trying to draw... I think I was trying to draw a specific character. Yes. So this is technically another self-insert character. So this was a character that I inserted into the fairy tale universe. And the idea was that she had this sort of curse type thing where she had these dragon scales that would appear on her skin. A bit like the grayscale concept in Game of Thrones, but different. And I had this idea that she could also be the celestial spirit for the constellation Draco. But yeah, it's interesting to see how my style and artistic abilities have altered over the years. So a couple of personal sketches there. This was me trying to figure out the proportion of head and neck. I mean, obviously I thought this exercise would help. So, it had me drawing. I think this was supposed to be practice for, or like a replication of a character that I did for Misfit. So it was this girl with a hood up, and she had like a vial of poison around her neck and stuff. And she wore a hoodie. Yeah. It was practice. This is what I like about looking back at old sketchbooks. They were all practice to what what I'm able to do now. This looks like a cover of a album by The Used, I believe. And I sort of wanted to do a very emo thing. I had a severe emo phase that sort of prolonged it's lasted into my adulthood, and I love all that sort of thing. Yeah, I like it, patchy hearts and stuff. I want to draw more of them, and I might want to sort of delve into the realistic aspect of hearts and try and sort of implement the emo-ness that way as well. With the personal sketch there. This is where you can see my style sort of really seeping in with this one. So it's very small. Try and lift it up for you. So this is, as you can see, Shoto Todoroki from My Hero Academia. It may not come as a surprise to you anymore. And yeah, you can definitely see that it's way more stylized than it originally was. Yeah, even now I'm still really pleased with how it turned out. It's brilliant, especially when you think of the other works in this sketchbook. It's not a photocopy of the original, but I like that about it. I love this so much, and it's definitely, I'd say it's inspired my style nowadays as well. Right, we're skipping another personal one to go to the final page. And this is apparently from the 26th, it will be from the 26th of July, because that was the last day. And this was practice for drawing a time turner. It may have been for an Inktober. And I love how this sketch turned out. I'm going to have to show this one up close as well. So it's like, you can see I used my circle template, and I love how the hourglass turned out. It's such a good thing. It's such a shame that J.K. Rowling turned out to be transphobic and everything, because yeah, I love that design. But anyway, ranting of J.K. Rowling over. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe. What was your favourite piece from the sketchbook? There's a couple of favourites of mine in here. Yeah. I'm also available on Instagram and DeviantArt. I'm more active on there. I also have a Redbubble shop that I would love if you checked it out. My username on there is dragonthorn-art. Dragonthorn-art was my original one, and it got taken down. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!